I've been making YouTube videos for a while now, and I can tell you that the free video editors available today are better than what professionals were paying thousands for back then. But the hard part is knowing which option to pick. Some hide the best features behind paywalls, some tools add watermarks or restrict the resolution, which makes your videos look worse compared to everyone else's. I tested every free video editor available in 2026, and I ended up with 5 that let you create professional content for free. I'm ranking them from worst to best, so by the end you'll know which one fits the way you work. Coming in at number 5 is CapCut. CapCut started as a mobile app for TikTok creators and became popular because of how fast it can edit. You can take raw footage and get everything done quicker than most alternatives. Import in your clips, generate subtitles with one click, throw on some trending effects, and you're done. The auto caption feature is genuinely great. It listens to your audio, types out what you're saying, and you easily fix any mistake you might spot. The accuracy is around 90 to 95% for clear English audio, which means you'll only need to fix a few words here and there instead of typing everything manually. It also supports over 20 languages, which is pretty great. If you're posting videos consistently, that alone saves hours. CapCut also makes it really easy to turn regular videos into shorts. It automatically reframes your footage so the important stuff stays centered, making it easy to turn one video into multiple formats. So why is it only at number 5? CapCut's free version lets you export in up to 4K, but as soon as you use most of the features that actually matter, exporting is locked behind the paid version. That means the free version is fine for very basic edits, but you'll hit that limit fast once you start using effects, enhancements, or quality of life features. To unlock those Pro Tools in CapCut, you have to pay $9.99 a month, which makes the free version workable for quick social clips or simple edits. If you're building a YouTube channel or doing longer form content, you're going to run into that wall quickly, and that's where the next editor comes in. At number 4 is Clipchamp, and this one might already be sitting on your computer without you even knowing. Microsoft now builds Clipchamp directly into Windows 11, which means you can open it and start editing without downloading anything. Microsoft has been pushing it as the default replacement for the old Windows Movie Maker. The interface is about as simple as it gets. You open the app, you see your timeline, and if you can drag and drop, you already know how to use it. That ease of use extends to the audio too. If your recording sounds noisy or unprofessional, Clipchamp can fix it without you touching any settings. The auto captions work well, and there's built-in text-to-speech if you want narration without recording your own voice. Plus, since it connects to your Microsoft account, everything syncs in the cloud. You can start editing on one computer and finish on another without moving a single file. This cloud integration also means your project files don't take up local storage, which is a massive advantage if you're working on a laptop with limited space. However, this also means you're dependent on Microsoft's servers. If they have downtime or if your account has any issues, you lose access to your projects temporarily. The limitations, however, are pretty clear. On the free version, exports cap at 1080p, so you're dealing with a quality ceiling, and Clipchamp only works properly on Windows. If you're on Mac, you can use it through a browser, but the experience isn't as smooth. The other catch is that you need an internet connection the whole time you're editing. If your Wi-Fi drops, you can't even open your project. If you're on Windows and just want something simple without learning anything complicated, Clipchamp is ready to use. But if you need higher quality exports, the next option completely removes any resolution restrictions. Number 3 is Kdenlive, and this is where things start to get interesting. Kdenlive is completely free and exports in full 4K with no restrictions, placing it ahead of other options like CapCut and Clipchamp for long-form YouTube content. The interface looks more like a professional editing software, which can feel intimidating at first, but once you spend some time getting familiar with where things are, it starts to feel natural. The timeline works the way you'd expect, and you can do everything from basic cuts to more advanced stuff like color correction and audio mixing. Where Kdenlive really shines is captions. It can automatically transcribe your audio, translate it into other languages, and let you style these subtitles however you want. If you're making content for viewers who speak different languages, this feature alone would normally cost you money elsewhere. This is the first editor on the list that truly treats you like a serious creator. It doesn't try to simplify things at the expense of control, and it doesn't lock core features behind a subscription. Instead, it assumes you're willing to learn in exchange for freedom, which is rare in a free software. The trade-off is that it requires a little more effort compared to CapCut or Clipchamp. It's not complicated once you learn it, but there is a real learning curve, and depending on your hardware, you can run into occasional crashes as well. While recent updates have improved things significantly, it's not always as stable as the others. If you want 4K exports for free and you're willing to spend a little time learning the software, Kdenlive gives you a lot more than most free editors. But if you want even more control, the next one goes even further. At number 2 is Shotcut, which has been around since 2004. It's completely free and gives you basically everything with no restrictions. You get 4K exports, full color grading tools, and they recently added automatic captions powered by AI. None of that is locked behind a paywall, so the moment you download it, you have access to everything this software can do. The challenge with Shotcut is the interface. It's flexible, which is great if you know what you're doing, but that flexibility can feel overwhelming at first. Things aren't always where you'd expect them to be, and basic basic tasks like adding text require a few more clicks than they should. The default layout shows a lot of empty panels and buttons that aren't immediately useful, which makes the software look more complicated than it actually is. There's a quick fix though. Go to View, then Layout, and select Editing. This switches to a preset workspace that's much easier to navigate. It doesn't solve everything, but it makes a big difference. Once Shotcut is set up properly, it stops feeling confusing and starts feeling like a professional tool. Every feature is available from day one, and the software never tries to upsell you or limit what you can export. If you're fine figuring things out on your own and want full capability at no cost, Shotcut is the right choice. It's not the prettiest or the most intuitive, but nothing is locked away from you. For people who want full control and don't mind a steeper learning curve, Shotcut is hard to beat. But there's one editor that takes things even further, and the #1 spot goes to DaVinci Resolve. This is the same software that Hollywood uses. Actual movies you've seen in theaters, like Dune and Avatar, were color graded in DaVinci Resolve, and somehow the free version gives you almost everything the professionals use. The free tier exports 4K without watermarks or time limits, and there's no restriction on how long your projects can be. Every other editor on this list either caps your quality or locks features behind a subscription, but Resolve just hands you the full toolkit. The software is split into different sections, each designed for a specific part of the editing process. There's one section for fast editing, when you need to get a video out quickly, one for more precise timeline work, one for audio that handles everything from basic cleanup to full professional production, and one for color grading that gives everything a cinematic look. That color grading section is where Resolve really separates itself. This follows the same method professionals use to give movies a polished look. Once you learn how to use it, your videos will immediately have that professional finish. The main limitation is captions. Automatic transcription requires the paid version. The workaround is to generate your captions in something like Clipchamp, export them as a file, and import that file into Resolve. It's an extra step, but it ends up paying off. The learning curve is real. Expect a couple of weeks before everything clicks. But the best part is that you're learning something you won't outgrow. Resolve is what professionals use, and you're building skills that transfer directly to paid work if you ever want to go that direction. The DaVinci Resolve community is also massive, which means when you get stuck, there's almost always a tutorial or forum post that addresses your exact problem. Blackmagic Design, the company behind Resolve, offers free official training that's genuinely comprehensive. They have a full certification program, and completing it gives you credentials that actually mean something in the industry. If you're serious about YouTube and want something that grows with you, DaVinci Resolve is the right choice. The time investment is higher than CapCut or Clipchamp, but you'll never hit a ceiling that forces you to switch. Powerful software like this does come with a trap. It's easy to spend too much time polishing color on content nobody clicks because the underlying idea wasn't strong. The algorithm ignores how good your timeline looks if the packaging misses the mark. I've gotten over 200 million views on my videos by focusing on a very specific approach that decides whether a video gets pushed or buried before the edit even matters. It has nothing to do with fancy effects, and almost nobody thinks about it the right way. So if you want to make sure your edited videos actually reach people instead of dying on upload, click the video on screen. I'll show you the framework I use to consistently give videos a real chance to win. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.